motherfucker.
Hold on, I hope y'all watching this shit.
First round, real quick.
That are in those training rooms.
But now we're gonna get a good. To me, I thought he was a con artist, just based on his looks.
Holy shit! What the hell just happened?
What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to GSR, Gonzo'S Sports Room, Monday, December 20th, 2021. Sorry about the issues we were having just a few minutes ago. Don't know what was going on. For some reason, I had a bad internet connection. I think we have it fixed now. Also, yeah, I think we got it fixed now. Don't forget, hold on. All right, yeah, should have better connection. Before we jump into there was a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend in sports. I mean, you had Tiger Woods and his son Charlie playing a tournament. You had Woodley get knocked out by Jake Paul. Had crazy week 15 in the NFL. We'll jump into all that in here just a second. But before we do that, don't forget we're live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. Come join us. We're giving out winners. If you're a sports betting person, join us Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Also, we're live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern with GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room. That show is also live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can find both of those shows in podcast form on Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, Breaker Cast, Pocket Cast. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo'S Sports Room. That's where we post all the information about all of our shows. We post our daily picks for Easy Money, a sports betting show on there. Post our interview announcements. I think we're up to about 30 independent wrestlers we've interviewed so far, and have some more getting scheduled. So go check out our YouTube page. On our YouTube page at Gonzo'S Sports Room, we have a lot of content on there. We have pro wrestling content. We've done live commentary at 6 different pro or live shows over the last few months. We have some more scheduled for the next year. We got some big announcements coming out Fridays, so make sure you don't miss Friday's show. But yeah, got a lot of content on YouTube. We even have a video on there where some gunshots interrupted our stream. So go over to YouTube, check that stuff out. Please hit that subscribe button, the like button. Also hit that bell so you get notifications of when we're live. Check out our merch store, streamlabs.com/GonzoSports/merch. You can see some of the t-shirts behind us. We have hoodies, hats, beanies, a lot of different things there. Go check that out. There's also a donation page there. If you'd like to donate to help the show grow, we'd appreciate that as well. But all right, let's get into some of the sports to happen. First game I want to talk about, Indianapolis Colts against the New England Patriots. As you can see, I'm a big Colts fan, so I enjoyed Saturday's night. Well, I enjoyed the first half of Saturday's night game a lot. Second half, they had me a little. Second half, the Colts had me a little scared. I'm not gonna lie. They looked like they were going to end up blowing that game, like they had a lot of games this year. And that's one thing I think a lot of people, especially mainstream media, they don't ever talk about the Colts. But yeah, the Colts got off to a bad start, but we've won like 6 of our last 8 games now. And we've lost 3 games in overtime, games that we had to lead in the fourth quarter and blew it. We could have a lot better record. I guarantee you, there ain't a team in the NFL that wants to have to play the Colts in the playoffs, especially first game of the playoffs. Right now, the Colts are the 5th seed. Tennessee lost. So, I mean, the Colts still have a chance to sneak in there and win that division. But the main thing is make the playoffs and go into the playoffs healthy. Colts have the best running back in the league right now with Jonathan Taylor. And one thing about the playoffs, it don't matter if it's cold, it don't matter if it's windy, run game travels. Colts have a good offensive line, good run game. Like I said, lot of people all over mainstream media all saw it was all Patriots, Patriots, Patriots. And the Colts just came out and shut the Patriots down. And then, yes, in the second half, the Patriots got back in it a little bit. Colts made a couple mistakes, but Colts was able to. Jonathan Taylor sealed the game with like a 70-yard TD run. And it was a big win for the Colts. Now the Colts have another big game this week as they play Arizona. Arizona just got beat by Detroit. I think the Colts are going to go in here and win this game. And if the Colts can win this game and Tennessee loses again, Colts are right there with a chance to win their division. But they just need to keep stacking up some wins so they're guaranteed to get in the playoffs. Like I said, right now they're the 5th seed. But I'll tell you what, man, mainstream media is disrespecting. Not only do they disrespect the Colts a lot, you never hear them talk about the Colts. They speak on the Colts as we're like the second-tier organization or whatever. But the other who they're also disrespecting is Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is having one of the best years of his career, and after having one of his worst years of his career last year, and nobody's talking about it. He could be in the running for comeback player of the year. I mean, he played terrible last year in Philadelphia. This year, he's playing good. He has over 3,000 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, to only 6 interceptions on the season, and he has a QBR of 95.3. I mean, he's having a good season, real good season. It has to be above expectations, especially how he looked last year in Philadelphia. He's doing exactly what the Colts brought him in to do. He's going to finish with probably close to 4,000 passing yards, probably close to maybe around 30 touchdowns, and hopefully he don't throw no more interceptions. I mean, that's a solid year. When the Colts lost earlier in the season, it wasn't because of Carson Wentz. Some of it was coaching. Our defense was struggling at the beginning of the season, and then our defense finally tightened up, and then ever since then, hell, we should be undefeated. But ever since our defense tightened up, we've looked good. And Jonathan Taylor's gotten going. When Hilton's been healthy, Wentz has been able to get the ball down the field to him and Pittman. Pittman got kicked out of the game the other night. I thought that was going to come to bite us in the ass because we were missing. He's been one of our top receivers, and not going to have him in the second half because him and another guy got a little brawl, a little scrabble, and referees threw both of them out. I just thought they should have just called penalties on both and play on. But yeah, mainstream media disrespecting Carson Wentz big time because, like I said, he could be in the running for comeback player of the year. I mean, like he's already thrown for over 3,000 yards, has 23 TDs, only 6 interceptions, and he has a QBR 95.3. I think that ranks right now from to have that's like his second or third best season of his career. And this is coming off a season last year that was his worst in his career. I think, his QBR last year was probably like 60 something. I think it was low. He didn't have a good season at all. He had worst season of his career, and that's why one of the reasons why Philadelphia got rid of him. And plus, Philadelphia thought Carson or Jalen Hurts is going to be their guy, which I'm still not sold on that. But all right, before we jump into and start recapping the week 15 of the NFL, Jake Paul knocked out Tyron Woodley Saturday night. This fight was terrible. It was a couple punches and then tie him up. A couple punches and tie him up. And I think it was like the 5th round. Jake Paul, I'll give him some credit. He had a nice right hook, knocked Woodley out. But I mean, it was a close fight going into that round, but it was a terrible fight to watch because all they did was, like I said, you'd see, was just keep tying each other up. Jake Paul would walk in, throw a couple punches, then tie Woodley up. Ref would break him and do it again. Woodley had Jake Paul hurt there earlier in the fight. Jake Paul was able to recover. Woodley, if he could beat Jake Paul, but he has to stay out. Quit letting Jake Paul tie him up like that. As soon as he comes in, start going to the body. Don't let him tie your arms up. But like I said, it was a horrible fight. If they were to try to fight for a third time, I don't think very many people would watch it because it wasn't an entertaining fight to watch at all. I mean, yeah, it had other than like the last 5 seconds, it had an entertaining ending. But as a whole, man, it just wasn't a very good fight at all. But all right, let's jump in. We'll jump in and talk some NFL. First of all, let's talk the NFL MVP. Who's the MVP of the NFL this year? You got Aaron Rodgers up there. He has his team number one in the NFC. I didn't look up his touchdown interceptions and stuff, but he's having an MVP type year. Jonathan Taylor with the Colts. He has like 18 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards from scrimmage. Looks like he's going to win the rushing title this season. But yeah, he's been. So I think him and Rodgers are the two favorites. It'll probably go to Rodgers because it goes to a quarterback. But if Taylor keeps finishing off, if he finishes off the season like he's doing now, I think it'd be hard for him not to get it, even though that a quarterback usually gets it. But I mean, if he runs for another 1,000 yards or so these last few, or not 1,000 yards, but you know what I mean. If he has good games these last 3 games of the season, and the Colts will win and make the playoffs, it's going to be hard not to have him right up there as being the MVP of the league. Right now, I think it's between him and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you have some other guys that are having great years, but I think them two are the top 2 for the NFL MVP right now. But all right, let's talk. Let's jump into the NFL Week 15. Thursday night, Chiefs beat the Chargers. Everybody saw that or knows about that pretty much. 34-28. It was a wild game. That game went into overtime. And then Saturday night, the Colts beat the Patriots 27-17. Colts looked good. That game was up 20 or 22-0 at halftime. Then they let Patriots get back in a little bit, and then Jonathan Taylor just sealed the deal with another long run. Taylor had like 170 yards rushing or something in that game. And so the Colts got a big win there. And then yesterday, you had the Steelers at the Titans. The Steelers got a big win, win 19-13. Steelers are, even with all the struggles they've had this year, they have themselves in position to have a chance to win the division, win AFC North. That was a big win for them yesterday. And it was also, the Titans losing was also nice for the Colts. It gives the Colts maybe even the chance to sneak in there and get that division. Right now, the Colts will be the 5th seed, but be in that first wild card spot. Then you had the Panthers at the Bills. The Bills get a big win, 31-14 over the Panthers. Panthers' offense is just they have to find something at quarterback. Darnold was playing decent, got hurt. They had Walker in there for a couple games, and they signed Newton. They played Newton a couple plays the first weekend he's there, and he scores touchdowns on both, and everybody was going crazy. Oh, Cam's back. Cam ain't back. I'm not saying he has a whole lot of help behind him either, but Panthers after starting off the season looking good, their defense was looking good. Then McCaffrey got hurt, and then their top corners got hurt, and everything's just went to hell since then. But the Bills picked up a big win because they've been struggling. Then you had the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars playing their first game without Urban Meyer as their head coach this season. Texans get the win 30-16. If you're getting beat by double digits by Houston, you know things are pretty bad because Houston's not very good at all. But then you had the Cowboys at the Giants. Cowboys get a 21-6 win. The Giants just, without Daniel Jones, they they just couldn't get no offense going. And a lot of times with Daniel Jones, they can't get no offense going. I think they had a terrible offensive coordinator in Jason Garrett, and then they get rid of him, and now they put Freddie Kitchens there. And Freddie, you saw what Freddie Kitchens did as a head coach in Cleveland. Now I know at the end of the one season he came in and was having a good year, finished the year off as that offensive coordinator with Baker and had a good year and had Baker playing better. But then he was the head coach and looked terrible calling plays, called a draw play on a 3rd-and-9 play. But then he was over with the Giants. I think as offensive line coach, maybe he was some kind of offensive coach over there. And then now they got rid of Garrett. He moved in as the offensive coordinator, and offense has not got better. Actually, it might have got a little worse. I understand he didn't have the starting quarterback for that game, but still. But the Cowboys still aren't looking great. I'm not sold on the Cowboys. Them game that was a surprise, big surprise to me over the weekend. The Detroit Lions get a big home win over the Arizona Cardinals, and weren't even close. It was 30-12. The Lions just dominated this game. Cardinals play the Colts this week, and if Cardinals come in and play like they did yesterday against the Lions, the Colts are going to steamroll them. It's going to be a fun game to watch because my son's a big Arizona Cardinals fan. I'm a big Colts fan. They play on Christmas Day that evening, so it'll be a fun watch. And then you have, but yeah, the Lions though. Lions are playing better. Maybe they're starting to believe a little bit. Because they've been close. They've been in a lot of games this year. It's not like they just been going out there and getting killed every game. The team plays hard for Campbell. I think Campbell's doing a good job. I know he took over play calling now, and he seems to be doing a decent job at that. I mean, it seems like their offense hasn't got worse. That's a big win for them. Bad loss for Arizona, especially going into the Colts. Going into a big game with the Indianapolis Colts this weekend, and Colts being pretty hot. Arizona might be in a little bit of a slump. We'll see what happens. I'm rooting for the Colts. I think Colts are going to beat them by, I'm going to say 7 to 10 points. Then we have the Jets at the Dolphins. This was a crazy game. Jets actually had the lead in this game, and then Tua was able to get a touchdown toward the end to seal the deal for the Dolphins for a 31-24 win. But I don't think either one of these teams are going to make any noise in the playoffs, especially not the Jets. Dolphins would have to have a lot of things dropped their way for them to get in the playoffs, and even if they do, I don't think they're going to make a lot of noise in the playoffs. All right, next game is the Cincinnati Bengals at the Denver Broncos. This was a good game. Low-scoring game, defensive battle, which kind of surprised me. I thought the Bengals would score more points than they did, but the Bengals was able to pull out the 15-10 victory. And that's a tough loss for the Broncos, especially in the AFC West. Kansas City has kind of solidified themselves as the team to beat in the AFC West now. But Bengals that's a big win for the Bengals as they're trying to keep pace in the AFC North. Falcons at the 49ers. 49ers beat the Falcons 31-13. Falcons just make too many little mistakes. And they're just hit and miss. One day their offense looked unbelievable, and the next day their offense looks flat terrible. The 49ers, a lot of it just depends on health. But they had a big game yesterday. Then another great game was the Green Bay Packers at the Baltimore Ravens. The Packers get a 31-30 win. Ravens went for a 2-point conversion, try to win the game, couldn't and didn't get it. I understand what Harbaugh's saying. You don't want to give the ball back to Green Bay because you don't want to play for overtime and give the ball back to Green Bay, and then they go right down and score, give the ball to Aaron Rodgers and go down and score. So he thought that was the best chance for his team to win. I can't say that. I don't know if I'd make the same call because, it's different when you're standing on the sideline. But I don't think – I'm not going to I'm not going to kill them over it because I can make an argument that that was the right call and the right call. But you can also make an argument that you have to trust your defense as well. But so I mean, I'm not going to kill the dude over that. You have the Saints at the Bucks. The New Orleans Saints defense just straight shut down Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. It's the first time since like 2005 that Tom Brady's been shut out in an NFL game. The Saints with a 9-0 win. This was just a defensive battle. Neither offense could do much of anything. The Saints just kind of got a couple short fields and was able to take advantage of that. And Bucks missed, I know at least one field goal, maybe two. But Bucks just, offense didn't look good at all yesterday. It really hurt them because Evans got hurt and was out. Godwin got hurt and had to go out. You already had Antonio Brown out. Rob Gronkowski probably played the worst game I've ever seen him play, dude. He probably had 4 drops yesterday at least. He couldn't catch. He was having trouble catching the ball yesterday. He had some crucial drops. But yeah, Tampa Bay needs to get healthy. I mean, yes, they need to win some of these last games, but they need to get healthy because if you're going to the playoffs unhealthy, it's not going to matter. And you got Fournette out. Who knows how long Evans is going to be out? Godwin's out. I mean, they're just decimated right now on offense. But I mean, we'll see what happens. You never know. Usually somebody will step up and surprise you. Somebody gets that opportunity, and they surprise you by what they can do. So maybe we'll see something like that. But hopefully, if they do get somebody like that that can surprise people, it's after January 8th. So after, but all right, next game. Saints at the Bucks. That was the game we was on. Tonight we got Raiders and Browns. Should be a good game. I think the Browns are going to win this game, even though the Browns are going to be starting their third-string quarterback in Mullins. But Mullins played some good games as a backup in San Francisco, so I expect Mullins to do fine tonight. Raiders haven't looked good at all this season, so I look for the Browns to cover the plus 2.5 on the spread. Actually, I think the Browns are going to win the game. And then also tomorrow night you have the Vikings at the Bears. That game's at 8:15 tonight. I like the Vikings to win this game, but the spread is too big for me to take it because I'm not giving up like 7.5 points. Vikings have played 12 one-possession games this season, so it's probably going to be a close. I tell you, it's going to be a close game. And then on Tuesday, we get 2 games. We get Washington at the Eagles and Seahawks at the Rams. It's going to be pretty cool. You have football about every day this week. If you count college football, you will have football every day this week. But you have NFL almost every day this week, so it's going to be a good time. Before we get out of here, let's get to my picks of the day. All right, picks of the day. I like Old Dominion. +8 against Tulsa tonight in this afternoon in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Then in NFL, I like the Cleveland Browns +2.5. I like the I like the Bulls and Rockets under 22.5. I like the Thunder Grizzlies over 212.5. And I like the Spurs Clippers under 217.5. So to recap, Spurs Clippers under 217.5. Thunder Grizzlies over 212.5. Bulls Rockets under 22.5. Under 222.5, excuse me. Browns +2.5. And Old Dominion +8. Okay. All right, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Don't forget we're live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. That show's live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We're also live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern with GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room. That show's also live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can find both those shows in podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at Gonzo'S Sports Room. That's where we post all the information about our shows. Our daily sport picks from Easy Money, a sports betting show, get posted on there. Or any interview announcements, show announcements, just anything to do with the show, you can find on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Gonzo'S Sports Room. Also, you can find me, Chris Gonzalez, at Chris D. Gonzalez on Facebook, Chris Gonzalez at Gonzalez Sports on Twitter, and Chris Gonzalez on Instagram. That's where you can find all the information about our shows at the Gonzo'S Sports Room social media. Also, don't forget, check out our YouTube page. We got a lot of stuff on there. Please hit that subscribe button, that like button, bell to get notifications. We greatly appreciate it. Don't forget tomorrow, that Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, we have a big show for GWR Live. We have pro wrestler Eric Valkyrie joining us. Got to see him wrestle a couple weeks ago. He's good. You guys aren't going to want to miss this conversation. He was in a street fight last time I saw him. We're going to talk to him about that. We'll talk to him about his big match he has coming up here on January 8th. And we'll talk about an assortment of other things. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. We will be live tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show, at 1 p.m. Eastern with GWR Live. So make sure you join us tomorrow for those shows. Hope everybody's having, if you're traveling for the holidays, be safe. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.